Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the American lock. This is their part number 875 or A875. This product that we have here has a D at the end of it, which tells me that it's not inherently identical to the document as seen in the product catalog linked to down below this video, which calls it out as a A875. So there's something that's evolved on it, probably something relatively minor. The catalog that we have that it's referring to is several years old. It's a 2012 catalog, so obviously something changed where they're now adding the D to it. Not knowing what that difference is, let's press forward with a review of this A875. This model is being called a D, even though it's stamped 875. The D might have something to do with its packaging, I suppose. Maybe D for display. Pure speculation. This is clear packed, as you can see. Single hinge steel hasp is what it is. Now, the 875 is going to be ideal for applications. And there is a link below this video as well to the installation instructions, which are shown on the back of the packaging, and we'll pull that out here. But the 875 is used in those instances when someone has an inside corner that they want to secure, or an outside corner as well, because of its extra hinge that exists. And that link to the product catalog is handy because you'll see the other models, and I think, in my experience, the 850 is also very common for us to sell. Occasionally, the 885 as well. So the installation instructions are linked to down below the video, and we'll go over that after we do our visual review. So you're going to get, of course, the staple. Okay. Let's pull the staple out of the way and just look at the hasp itself. There's your mounting plate. You'll be able to close that off. You're going to be able to articulate it this way, articulate it that way. Okay. Or, of course, just straight across. You might want it straight across to just turn that out however you might end up wanting to install that. Let's take some dimensions. Steel. Appears to be all steel. Even the hardened staple on the outside. Okay. Screws are steel as well. They are giving us through bolts. Right. Yeah, there are definitely through bolts there. That would be nice to be able to it's actually a combination. Fasteners are what they are giving us. You're going to have the square preparations like you'd have for a typical carriage bolt. That's going to be through bolted. The balance of that will be just surface, just with those flathead screws that are inside of there. Now, some dimensional properties. About 6 1/8 overall length. Okay, overall height about 1 3/4 inches. That length from the center point, this vertical axis of pivot, or the center pivot, is closer to about 5 7/8, I'd say. Okay, the staple itself, that height of that staple about 1 5/8 inches. The width about 1 3/4 inches. They have a total projection right at about 1 1/4 inches or so. Now, the installation instructions. Let's take a look at those. And they are linked to down below this video again. And basically what they say is to, again, use the through bolts when you've got those square preparations, and use the sheet metal screws in the other locations. They tell you to, if you're going into all sheet metal, to replace those with machine screws and bolts, through bolted, absolutely. If you're putting this onto a work van, through bolt that through the van itself. They're saying to make sure that the surface that you're installing it down to can withstand severe stress. There's no sense in putting on a nice padlock hasp and then easily being able to pry it off of the material like maybe a vinyl fence. That wouldn't take a lot of stress to really pull the screws out of that. So mount on a solid wood or metal surface where possible. Make sure the surface can withstand severe stresses from pry bars, etc. Number 8 wood screws and number 10 carriage bolts are included, a number 8 and a number 10. If applying on a sheet metal surface, replace all the wood screws with 8 by 1/2 inch flathead machine screws with washers and nuts. Use hasp plate as template to locate holes before drilling. For solid installation, position hasp by wrapping around corner and marking location of mounting holes. Be sure fasteners are screwed down tight and flush with the mounting plate. So the bottom line is, when you're going to put it on the door or whatever you're putting it on, just put it on and eyeball it and mark your locations, based on getting it set and positioned exactly where you want it. Basically, make sure that it's going to fit loosely and make sure the door will operate accurately before securing anything. I don't think that I would try to install it this way. I would want my hinge to be in a linear sort of position to create a true inside corner. Okay, you're going to need to have that flat. What I'm trying to say is just the laminated pieces of steel that create the hinge, not at a 45, because I don't think you're going to wrap tight enough and get it closed down. Either like this or like this would be the way to go. That's really it. Not much else to this. So there is then a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the American Lock products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the American Lock A875, inside or outside corner or straight sort of padlock hasp, or any other American Lock product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.